If asked to pick one family in America that embodies the essence of the American vibe, there's a good chance your answer would be the Obamas. However, there are things happening behind the scenes that most people are unaware of. From the moment Barack Obama entered the White House as president, the world has closely watched his every move, and this includes significant attention to his personal life. People admire the Obamas, especially for the bond they share. Michelle Obama has been a role model for many with a message of hope, family values, and unity. Beyond that, her contributions to education, poverty awareness, and human rights have made her a beloved figure. Together, Barack and Michelle have two beautiful daughters, Malia and Sasha, whom the world has watched grow up. Now that the girls are grown, a whole new chapter has come to light. Recently, one of Michelle Obama's daughters revealed shocking truths about the family, truths that no one saw coming. This revelation has shocked those who have followed the Obamas for years, exposing a side of the family that was previously unknown to the public. What are these secrets, and how do they change the way we view the Obamas? That's what we'll delve into. Before being elected President of the United States, Barack Obama was a state senator in Chicago, where he and Michelle settled after their marriage on October 3, 1992. 6 years later, the couple welcomed their first child, Malia, who was born on July 4, 1998. Barack often praises Malia and expresses how proud he is of her. Malia also has a younger sister, Sasha, born on June 10, 2001. In 2009, the family moved from Chicago to Washington, D.C., when Barack became president. The transition wasn't easy for the children, as leaving behind their childhood friends and familiar surroundings was a challenge. Despite their initial reluctance, Malia and Sasha eventually adjusted to life at the White House. At the time of the move, Malia was 10, and Sasha was 8. Barack served as president for 8 years, during which Malia and Sasha lived in the White House and attended Sidwell Friends School. In a 2011 interview, Michelle shared that the girls were doing great and leading healthy, normal lives. Barack remarked on the sisters' close bond and expressed joy in watching them grow into young women. Michelle also reflected on how her parenting evolved as the girls grew older, transitioning from mom-in-chief to an advisory role. Malia and Sasha have charted their own paths in life, much to Michelle's delight. It's remarkable how the sisters grew up managing the spotlight, balancing their activism, and handling the constant presence of Secret Service, even during personal moments like dates. Malia, the eldest daughter, was born on July 4, 1998, in Chicago. Barack and Michelle often describe her as wise and thoughtful. As a child, she loved collecting keychains and taking drama classes. By the first grade, she was setting her alarm and making her bed, unusual for a child from a privileged background. Barack once shared a story about a 6-year-old Malia asking him if they were rich. He replied that they were well off compared to most, but not truly rich. Malia responded that she was glad, as she preferred a simple life. This moment left a lasting impression on Barack. As Malia grew older, she became someone who loved life, people, and engaging conversations. Barack noted that she never got bored, a rare quality that he believes will take her far. Despite being the president's daughter, Malia experienced typical teenage moments, like attending prom as a sophomore in 2014. When asked if she had a date, Barack jokingly called it classified information, but admitted he was emotional seeing his little girl all dressed up in heels.
After completing high school in 2016, Malia went on to attend Harvard University. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, also loved knowledge and had a profound passion for books. He could read a book and finish it in a day, allowing him to accumulate a wealth of knowledge over the years. He read extensively across subjects, from literature and novels to history and politics. His book collection totaled 10,000 volumes before he eventually donated them. But that's a digression. Let's return to the story. No one can deny Michael Jackson's immense talent. He soon became the lead singer of the Jackson 5 and enjoyed successful years with the band. The year 1967 was a milestone for the family band as they won an amateur talent competition at New York's Apollo Theater. 2 years later, the band continued to grow and achieve success. Joe Jackson, who had transitioned from a father to the band's manager, decided to take their music career to a professional level. He led the band to sign a contract with Motown Records, where they recorded early hits like Who's Loving You. Following this, Joe moved the family to Los Angeles, where the band made their first television appearance in 1969, performing a cover of It's Your Thing at the Miss Black America pageant. The Jackson 5 dominated the airwaves in the late 60s and early 70s with hits like Never Can Say Goodbye, I'll Be There, I Want You Back, and ABC. They sold over 100 million records globally. Meanwhile, Michael began to distinguish himself as a vocalist, dancer, and charismatic performer. Rolling Stone described him as a prodigy with overwhelming gifts, the lead singer and main draw who propelled the group to fame. His voice, combined with his athletic and smooth dancing, gave his music an irresistible flavor. Michael's vocal talent was natural and evolved over time. He sang from childhood without formal training, adapting seamlessly as his voice transitioned from boy soprano to tenor. His vocals were often compared to the dreamy stutter of Stevie Wonder. One of Michael's sound engineers recalled a moment when he came into the studio with a song he had written and sang every note of every chord to the guitar player. Though he might not have formally studied music, his innate musicality was undeniable. However, Michael wasn't perfect. While he excelled in singing and dancing, he wasn't skilled at playing musical instruments. Additionally, his success came at a significant cost. Michael often expressed regret over the childhood sacrifices he had to make for his artistry. His father's relentless push to achieve perfection left a lasting impact. While his siblings described their upbringing differently, Michael claimed he had no fond memories of his childhood. During his acceptance speech at the 1993 Grammy Awards, he poignantly said, "My childhood was taken away from me. There was no Christmas. There were no birthdays. It was not a normal childhood nor the normal pleasures of childhood. Those were exchanged for hard work, struggle, and pain, and eventually material and professional success, but at an awful price. I cannot recreate that part of my life, nor would I change any part of my life." In interviews, the Jackson siblings often reminisced fondly about their childhood in their hometown, but media attention primarily focused on the strict and controlling nature of their father, Joe. Despite his own challenging experiences with fatherhood, Michael became a father himself and approached parenthood differently from how he was raised. He displayed a sense of pride and joy when speaking about his children, who meant the world to him. Michael's life took a turn when he was diagnosed with vitiligo, which led him on a search for treatment and eventually love. In 1996, he married Debbie Rowe, his dermatologist assistant. The couple welcomed their first child, Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., in February 1997, followed by their second child, Paris, in April 1998. Unfortunately, their marriage ended in April 2000, with Rowe conceding custody of the children in an $8 million settlement. After the divorce, Michael welcomed his third child, Prince Michael Jackson II, in February 2002 through surrogacy. Despite the challenges he faced, Michael cherished fatherhood. "I enjoy taking care of my children myself," he said in an interview with Geraldo Rivera. "It's fun. That's why I had them, so I could take care of them. It's just a great relief for me."